Hello everybody, it's Cartoon12 or ToonGal12 or KC, whatever you want to call me, back for a new Let's Watch. Today we are going to be taking a look at Pryde of the X-Men, a unreleased cartoon that I have only really heard about and I've seen clips of, but I've never actually watched the entire way through. There is an entire whole production history story behind this that you can look up for yourself on, just Google it, or if you type in Pryde of the X-Men on YouTube, you can find all kinds of behind-the-scenes documentaries about this that could explain the history way better than I can. But extremely long story short, this is basically the unreleased pilot episode for what would eventually become the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. And I'm really interested to see just how much stuff from this pilot carries over into the actual series here. So let's just not mince words, let's just get right into it. And thankfully, the full episode is up here on YouTube, so you can, watch it on your own yourself. So let's see just how good or bad this pilot, this unreleased, basically failed pilot is. So here we go. Pryde of the X-Men. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
No place to hide. No place to run. No place to run. Mutant has now begun. X-Men, it's the day.
What? Okay, wait, stop. Pause. Alright. We're not even 3 seconds into this and I already got so many questions. Okay, first off, let's play this again. I'm sorry. What did they say? Say that one more time. Okay, can someone please tell me what it is that they're saying? Are they saying, okay, X-Men saves the day? Paves the way? Because I honestly think it sounds like they're saying eggs today? What? Like, it almost sounds like, okay, they're intending for this to be on Saturday, like played on Saturday morning cartoons, so maybe they're just endorsing having kids eat a balanced, nutritious breakfast. Alright, let's just move on. Unpause. Okay, this is, it's a song.
This is Stan Lee of Marvel Comics warning you.
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Your classmates, your friends, you never know which one of them may be a
Who,
mutant.
me?
A person born with strange and wondrous powers. Now, some mutants, like the X-Men, use their special gifts for good. But then there are the terrorist mutants who plan to destroy the
Okay,
human
dude,
race.
just calm down a second.
Take this mutie we're hauling tonight, for example. He's too dangerous to live.
I am Magneto. Release me. I command it.
Oh yeah, like he's really gonna listen to you.
His power.
He's a mutant, a stinking mutant. He doesn't deserve to live on the same planet as normal, decent human beings.
When the
Jerk.
Brotherhood of mutant terrorists and I are through, humans will no longer have a place on planet Earth.
Okay, so you just called yourself a terrorist and you're expecting the guy to just release you just by saying, "Release me now."
Helpless against the mental powers of the White Queen.
We're in the middle of a highway. There's no water. Not water, sir. It's the highway itself. I know it sounds crazy, but it's turning into quicksand. Quicksand? Quicksand? Why, what kind of a fool are you?
What the dang nabbit? What kind of general is this?
Magneto, your deliverance
Is he the the county sheriff from the man with the golden gun?
Hold it, mutant.
How did these guys capture him to begin with? You would think that, okay, whatever you did before, just do it again.
Colonel Chaffee!
Into the toxic sludge.
Are you alright, sir?
With that murderous mutant on the loose, son, none of us are gonna be alright.
Okay, animation's pretty good so far, though.
Forget it, kid. This place gives me the creeps.
This place gives you the creeps? Clearly you've never seen Bruce Wayne's mansion.
Dear Miss Pryde, it has come to my attention that you have a mutant power, the ability to walk through solid matter. I believe you call it phasing.
Oh, great way to already spoil her power for us.
This way, Miss Pryde.
What are you?
Don't be startled. My mind is projecting an image of myself for you to follow. I am Professor Charles Xavier.
Watch me show off by spinning in my chair.
And those who have joined me are known as the X-Men.
Behold this PowerPoint presentation I put together just for you.
Yes?
But how do you know about what I can do? All the things you mentioned in this letter, no one knows, not even my parents.
This is Cerebro, a powerful computer with a special circuit which can detect the unique brainwaves emitted by mutants. That is how I found you.
Then I really am a mutant. I'm a freak.
No, my
Oh,
dear,
don't
we
say
mutants
that.
are not freaks.
I don't understand, and I'm afraid too.
At one point,
I'll
we
give
were
you a
all
hug.
afraid, Kitty. Come, we'll meet the others. This is the control center for the danger room. And down there is the danger room itself. Where the
This is how I used to spy on you when you were sleeping. What? Nothing.
In simulated combat, provided by a combination of holograms and robotics. This is Scott Summers, better known as Cyclops. His eyes shoot concentrated beams of pure energy. Next is Peter Rasputin. His codename is Colossus. Don't worry, Kitty, as Colossus Peter is impervious to harm.
He's good.
Next, meet Allison Blair, the Dazzler.
Oh, they got Dazzler in here?
Can transform sound into powerful bolts of light.
I think I know where Jubilee came from.
Nightcrawler has mastered the art of line-of-sight teleportation.
Yay, my fave.
Wolverine, with razor-like adamantium claws. They're sharp enough
That's
to
Wolverine.
slice
He likes
through
killing
almost
things.
any
I have to imagine that Professor X is just like, he got all the X-Men trading cards and he's just reading their, like, stats and abilities off the back of the card.
Understood. Finally, as for me, I have the ability to see into people's minds.
Their minds?
Oh, don't worry, child. I don't use my gift
Into the
recklessly.
bathroom while
I
you're
think
taking
you'll
a
find my
shower.
X-Men
What?
a very
Nothing.
pleasant group once you get to know them, Miss Pryde.
Scott, I have someone up here I'd like to...
Well, maybe everybody else is pleasant. I'd stay away from Wolverine, though.
Ah, Fräulein, what a lovely vision you are. Please allow me.
Professor?
Kitty, you're phasing.
You screwed up our stuff!
X-Men, welcome Kitty Pryde.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, Kitty Pryde. She already destroyed our stuff.
She has the power to walk through solid objects, a power known as phasing.
Kate! It is good, little one. Colossus like rain.
Fräulein, you left before I could properly welcome you.
Welcome her. Wait, she's not joining the X-Men, is she? She's just a kid.
Wolverine!
What?
Can't you see the girl is scared? Don't you remember what it was like when you first discovered you were a mutant?
And don't you remember that time that you did not have an Australian accent?
Some little
What's that?
red alarm. It's a mutant alert.
Well, friend, they fell for it. You may begin, Juggernaut. All right, and let nothing stand in your way.
Who are those people? people.
Magneto, master of
He pushes down the trees. This Captain Planet can suck it.
You know them?
Yes, it is the X-Men's sworn duty to protect mankind by battling Magneto and his evil terrorist mutants. If Magneto should win, the human race will become slaves of the evil mutants.
Kitty, you're scrambling Cerebro's...
Kitty, quit screwing up my stuff.
They're inside the mansion. What do we do?
No thanks to you.
Cannot hide his thoughts from me. What he wants is Cerebro's mutant.
Wait, I
power
thought if he
circuit.
wore his helmet, that would shield him
About
from
to
his
find
telepathy.
out. Quickly, child, take it. Protect the circuit at all costs.
Quickly, take this basketball.
What's wrong, Charlie? No warm welcome for your dear stepbrother?
You've always been welcome in my home, Kane. It's your choice of friends I question.
Juggernaut has chosen his friends well, Xavier. The mutant power circuit. Give it to me, girl.
Kitty, phase out. Use your power, Kitty.
Give it to me now or suffer later. Where do you think you're going?
Oh, I'm sure you're just really endearing Kitty to your cause by just yelling at her and creeping at her.
Join me.
No! Normal humans and mutants don't have to be enemies. I'll never join you. Never!
That's too
Luckily, I had this speech prepared.
tragic, yes.
Whoop, look out. Oh no! Quick! Toss this incredibly important thing at the villain.
Aware of Magneto's attack on their headquarters, the X-Men race to the Deep Space Observatory for a showdown with Magneto's deadly allies, the Blob and Pyro.
The fire! It's coming closer!
What do you want?
Nothing. Just take over Earth.
Now, Blob. After all, once we get the tracking coordinates for the Scorpio Comet, his word
Did somebody just have an affinity for Australian accents? Like, just give everybody Australian accents.
Colossus, take care of this.
No power on Earth.
Do you even lift, bro?
Back off, X-Men! Please help us! Let the hostages go, Pyro! This doesn't concern them! Wrong, Ruby Eyes! In 2 days,
Whee!
concern every human on Earth!
Wait till
That guy's a good gymnast.
He'll be talking out the other side.
Look out!
Make it rain.
Here you
Oh,
Thank you.
Hey, stay
Aw.
away, you filthy mutants!
oh, you freaking jerks!
Whatever it was, it poses a threat to the whole human race.
Those mutants are in there. Cover all the exits.
Also, did you just notice that Nightcrawler, like, he teleported just a few feet? It's like, what, you couldn't just walk up and give her the doll?
System locked onto the comet.
Yes, Master. Everything is ready, just as you ordered.
Excellent. Place Cerebro's power circuit in the magnetron. Get away from me, beast.
Hey, Lockheed!
Scorpio is now as tough.
This is basically another repeat of the 90s Spider-Man thing I reacted to, where this cartoon is just going at such breakneck speed. It's like, it's so hard to commentate on it because nobody's stopping to even breathe.
Where should I put him? Here.
Magneto. Professor X. Where is he? Is he alright?
Yes, Kitty. I'm fine.
Professor...
Yes, Kitty. No thanks to you throwing the basketball circuit at Magneto and giving it to him.
I failed you. I failed you all. Magneto has the circuit.
You didn't fail, my child.
None of us would have had a chance alone against Magneto.
We must discuss.
Well, I think Storm might have. She kind of can't control all the weather.
Before it's too late.
Dun, 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 dun.
Power circuit works. I can feel the energy. The power.
Oh, that sort of looks like the machine he had in the live-action first movie. Maybe that's where they got the idea from. His machine that was going to turn everybody into mutants. It almost kind of looked like the same design.
Capture the Scorpio Comet. In less than a day, most of the human race will be wiped out. The mutants will rule the Earth.
And you're fairly certain that this somehow is not going to kill mutants either?
Magneto, mankind He's doomed.
What's happened? Are you alright?
This is only the pilot episode, and we're already dealing with a threat that's going to end the entire world.
Directly towards Earth. The power, it hit me like a fist.
If Scorpio strikes Earth, it'll send up a cloud of dust and debris, which will block out the sun for years.
Our planet will be plunged into the Ice Age.
And we've got to stop it.
And somehow that'll be good for mutants.
Just get in the way.
I will not. And stop
he's-
calling me a kid. I am
Maybe he's kind of
14
got
years
a point.
old.
I'm sorry, Kitty, but Wolverine's right. You haven't been
see?
trained. It's much too dangerous. You'll stay here.
Until later, my child.
Oh, yeah? I'll show you. I'll show you all.
No you won't, Kitty. You should just stay here, because you've been a great help already.
It will mean disaster.
You can come out now. You were told to remain at the mansion.
I couldn't. It's my fault Magneto has a power circuit. I've got to help stop him.
What you plan to do is very dangerous.
I have to help. The world Magneto wants to destroy is my world too. Oh, Professor, wish me luck.
Good luck, my dear. Good luck to us all.
Or you could use your telepathy to put her to sleep and just go, nope, you're gonna stay right here.
Are we gonna talk about this all day or do it?
We're gonna do it.
How the heck does that work?
Stop them.
You all saw that, right? Just shoot my laser vision through my helmet. Whatever.
Don't you just love a good Barbie?
Leave this one to the Dazzler. You guys go on.
Fireworks, my one weakness.
Managed to get past our little welcoming committee, but you go no further.
I am gonna totally refrain from saying the line from The Last Stand, and you all know what I'm thinking.
And who is going to stop us? Me, Juggernaut.
Whack.
Gentlemen, welcome. Not if I can help it.
Ah, but you can't. No one can. Farewell, X-Man.
No, don't.
Hey, Kitty actually did something.
The circuit. You made me break the circuit. Now nothing
That
can change
that's
the
her
course.
ability, breaking circuits.
Now, Magneto's in position. Nightcrawler, the circuit. Your own body is recharging the circuit.
Is it true what he said?
Kitty, get everyone off the asteroid at once!
I'm surprised he can even hear anything while being continuously shocked.
Kitty, join the others. Quickly, I have a plan. Nightcrawler, listen to me. I'll keep the Blackbird on your view screen. Your timing must be flawless. You'll have to teleport just before the comet hits. Do you understand?
Of course, Professor.
Well, Nightcrawler may die, but at least I get a new pet dragon out of the deal.
He's gone.
There. He's alive.
Not for long. He's entering the Earth's atmosphere. He'll burn up.
Not if we can get the grappling beams to him.
Or he could teleport.
It's getting plenty warm in this suit!
Fire the grappling beams!
Where is he? Professor?
He's gone.
No, he can't be dead. He just can't be. No! I was so mean to him. Now I can never make it up to him.
Just can't believe it. Nightcrawler is... What's that?
Back there.
Fooled you.
Nightcrawler, my little Tovarish. You're not dead after all, no? I would hope not.
I would hope not. This is only the pilot episode.
If not for Kitty Pryde.
Thank you. That was the
Oh, they
bravest,
made up.
most unselfish thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't you agree?
Well, Wolverine, you were against Kitty being a member of the team. What do you think now?
So the kid got lucky that don't make her an X-Man. Not yet.
Yes, the X-Men have won, but only for now. Magneto is still out there, waiting, planning, plotting the destruction of the human race. But whatever the challenge, whatever the peril, the X-Men will be there.
And including Kitty Pryde, who has no costume at all. And that was it. Alright, let's stop. We're done. Okay. Well, that's it. That was the pilot. And just like I said before, this is almost a repeat of my Let's Watch of the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, where everything was just going so quickly. It was hard for me to even like keep up with it, to like have a commentary at all, because it just like didn't stop to breathe at all. Almost like every other second somebody was talking. But yeah, this actually wasn't half bad. I actually, if the 90s cartoon ended up more like this, it probably would have still been just as good. Although, that Wolverine voice, man, ugh. I mean, it's okay, but I'm glad that when we finally got the actual show, they changed it. That theme song, though, yeah, that definitely was not going to probably stick in anybody's minds at all. I'm really glad they changed that. And can anyone please tell me what they were even saying? And then as for our characters, it's kind of a toss-up of whether Kitty Pryde or Jubilee would have been better or worse. I mean, at least in this very first episode, like, you know, Kitty screws up and stuff, but at least she kind of makes up for it in the end. And I mean, this really does, from what comics I have read, this is basically following the comics almost exactly, like the way that she turned up at the X-Mansion and everything. I'm sure that maybe over time, like if this version went to series, that probably over time her character would have improved and gotten better, and she would have became a better fighter and stuff like that. But the thing is, though, is that I think the main problem with this pilot is that this was definitely made more with like the executives of the studio in mind, as in like, I guess maybe the creators of this must have been thinking like, okay, well, we know that this isn't really going to be shown to the public, so this is just like a test to show the executives what the show might be like. But because of that, we have to get out so much like information here, like as much as we can, that if this would have made it to air and been like the very first episode of like this ongoing show, I don't know if it would have made a really great like first episode, because there's like too much stuff going on here at one time. Like, you know, okay, like they got Magneto captured, he breaks out, and then, you know, everything keeps escalating to the point that in only the very first episode, they're already stopping something that's going to destroy the entire world. It's like, dude, you gotta take baby steps here. Or even that part where Kitty gets to the X-Mansion, and that part I said about how Professor X is probably just reading their stats off of their trading cards or whatever. That's literally what it was like. Everything was going okay at a decent enough clip, but then once she gets to the mansion, it's like the whole plot just stops so that we can introduce all of these characters. Like, he literally just stops and reads like, okay, here's this person, here's their power, now here's so-and-so, and here's what he can do. It's like, this episode definitely fails the show don't tell rule, where almost half of the episode is just like nothing but talking, exposition, here's this person, here's that person. It's like, it's not like we really met these people organically at all, the way that we do in the eventual series that we did eventually get. I mean, I guess obviously whoever made this pilot, they must have figured like, well, we don't know if this is going to go to air, so we have to try to get out as much info as we can. But I guess eventually when the series that we did get go to air, when they were penning the first couple episodes, they must have had the forethought to know, like, okay, well, we know that we're going to have plenty more episodes here, so we can actually take our time and only introduce maybe 1 or 2 characters per episode, and you just gradually over time learn, like, what their powers are and their backstory and stuff, whereas here it's just like, you know, here's this guy's name, here's his power, and then, like, when the Juggernaut busts into the mansion, he immediately says, like, oh, hello, Charles, my stepbrother, or whatever. It's like they're just giving out all this information in the most, like, unnatural way possible. Or even the part where Kitty first shows up at the mansion, she reads the letter, and it's the letter from Professor X, and he goes, I learned that you have a mutant power to phase through walls or whatever, and it's like, well, you already kind of spoiled what she could do. Like, wouldn't that have been a really neat surprise if, like, now obviously people who are reading the comics would know who she is, but for somebody, maybe like a younger kid who this is their first time seeing the X-Men, wouldn't have that been neat if, like, she drives up to the mansion, they let her out, and she just has a note that said, like, I got called to this place, but I don't know why, and maybe she would walk up to the door, like, she would walk up to the front door, but maybe it's locked or something, and she then accidentally phases through the door, and, like, that's how we would find out what her power is, like, something like that. Like, do more, like, showing, or just have these characters in a situation, and then just naturally in that situation we see what their power is, instead of Professor X just literally just info dumping on us. So that's probably the only, like, negative I can say about this. Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, since it eventually was just an unaired pilot, maybe I can't be too harsh on it, but still, you know, if this did turn out to be, like, the first aired episode of, like, this ongoing series, I kind of have to be like, I don't know, it was okay. I mean, if this was the version that we got on TV, I think it still would have worked. It would have gotten better. I just think that, just like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, this pilot was definitely, like, there was just, I think, a little too much stuff going on. There was a little too much exposition going on. Like, they kind of, I think they should just give the audience more of the benefit of the doubt, that if they just showed us their powers instead of just blatantly telling us, I might have enjoyed it just a little bit better. But yeah, other than that, this was, like, kind of an interesting little look into, like, a what could have been. That's basically what this is. What could have been. I definitely think I probably would have enjoyed Kitty Pryde as the ride-along character a bit more than Jubilee, but definitely that part where I guess Dazzler was originally going to be part of the team, which her outfit just, but the way that Dazzler used her powers and stuff, I can definitely see where, like, they got the idea for Jubilee eventually. That was almost like what Jubilee was doing. But yeah, that's it. That was Pryde of the X-Men. So, if any of you guys are kind of interested in cartoon history and, or the X-Men, or just superheroes in general, this is, you know, the full episode is on YouTube. You just type in Pryde of the X-Men and it'll come right up. It is an interesting little, quick little watch. But that'll about do it for today, and if you guys have any suggestions for other things you want me to react to, then just leave a comment below, and I'll see what I can, you know, as long as I can find the footage, I'll react to it. So, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and bye-bye.